I'm tired of not only me but my people being lied to and us fighting with each other. Because we need to come together. Because it's the main person that's giving us all this.
I was just kind of quick tempered. I found myself just very aggressive, and once I did put the meat down, put the processed food down, I can see a more calmness in my being.
I know y'all gotta be tired of hearing about y'all family members dying from all these medical diseases or medical situations, and it can be prevented.
And this is a big one. I know a lot of fellas that's younger than me. They taking Cialis, they taking Viagra, they taking whatever they can get their hands on in order to perform in the bedroom. Hello world, how everybody out there doing? Hopefully everybody doing sensational. Welcome to another episode of Generation Health and Self-Love. I'm your host, Life.
Right easy here.
And today we're going to continue with our conversation about the food and different effects of the food and how it affects you mentally and physically. And we got a couple of questions that we're going to throw out there, a couple things we're going to dissect, we're going to break it down. And I just want to say that we're not really here to judge anybody about what they eat. We don't, if you eat meat or if you eat dairy or whatever you eat, whatever you choose to consume, that's on you. All our job is just strictly to give some data on the different things in the way that whatever you eat affects you in a negative or a positive way. So don't take it as we like point the finger at people, because sometimes people can get a little offended because they think that you're attacking them and what they choose to do. And I just want to set the record clear that that's not the case here. Whatever you choose to do and that whatever makes you happy, continue to do it. But like I said, we just want to just put out some facts out there and just, give people different options if they choose to have another way of living, another way of eating. So that's just all we're trying to do here. So you want to say some things?
Definitely, what we doing right here, like you kind of just said, it's not about the judgment thing. It's more about for the people who are trying to make better changes, or people who are trying to create new habits or trying to do things differently than the norm. So people who are similar to, what we're doing, we're reaching out to them. If you resonate with what we're saying, then that's good. If you don't, then that's cool too. And that's it.
Definitely. And we're going to jump right into it. And one of the things I want to just put out there, I want to talk about the effects of eating meat and how it affects your body. Me particular, I'll just talk about myself for a quick second. I remember I was like 17. I used to cook breakfast all the time. I used to make some bacon and eggs and pancakes and stuff. And I would make the breakfast, I would eat, but I would notice probably 15, 20 minutes after eating, I would start to sweat. And sometimes just feel like nauseated. And I'm like, I just couldn't figure it out. So I continued to eat that way, but I was like, I got to figure out what's causing this problem. So as I continued to make my breakfast, I finally figured out what it was. It was the pork. The bacon was it just wasn't working for me. It was just causing me issues that I just couldn't explain at first. Like, what is this problem? What is this problem? So at 17 years old, I took it upon myself with no doctors, without talking to my mom or dad or nobody. I just like, you know what? I can't eat pork no more because it's affecting me and my body in a negative way. So I just cut it out. So that's just one example of me at 17 years old figuring out on my own that this particular product, this particular meat is causing me issues that I just didn't want to deal with. So I cut it out at 17 years old. So it's been a long time since I ate pork. And I guess 2009 is when I made my journey to plant-based and I cut out meat and dairy all the way as a whole. And ever since then, I had no problem with asthma. I had a bad asthma problem since when I was a toddler. I dealt with asthma, and since I cut out the dairy and the meat, I had no problem with asthma at all. So those are some of, and there's many more things, but I'm gonna let Rhaneezy speak a little bit too about his own
experience. Yeah.
experience and how it changed his life.
Well, yeah, I definitely got my own little story on why I went completely vegan. Why I went vegetarian back then was just like mental and physical. But I have a little story for why I went vegan. So I was working at this place called Stevie B's. One of my first jobs is like a pizza buffet, and
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to figure out because I think this was around the time where I was vegetarian for what like 2 years now, 2 or 3, and I was trying to figure out whether I wanted to make that switch, and I was like, how can I test this? So I was at the pizza spot one day working, and sometimes they let us make our own pizza. So I was like, you know what? Let me make this pizza a pizza with no cheese, and sauce it up, season it up, put some maybe just try different things. So I made a pizza with no cheese on it, just with the tomato sauce and vegetables and a couple other things, and I ate it. And after I got done eating it, I was cool. I could continue working, and I felt straight. I didn't feel like you know,
Sluggish.
yeah. So
Okay.
then I was like, okay, that's cool. Did that analysis. So then I said, let me get a pizza and put a bunch of cheese on it and just, serve it up, put all this little other stuff on it. And well, cheese and just the regular vegetables too. And I ate that pizza. But after I was eating that pizza, I started to get what they call it, the itis, food
Mm-hmm.
itis, and it messed with how I was moving around the workspace. And I started feeling like I didn't want to work it or I didn't want to move around and do other things. Like it messed up my mental, my motivation, or my my energy levels. And I think from that point on, it registered in my head like when I eat this certain stuff, it affects how I move or how I interact in the world and with other people and anything I'm doing. And I did not like how it made me feel. So I'm like, from there on, I decided, yeah, I'm not gonna do that no more. And I became vegan then, and I've been, doing it slowly since then. So that's why I made that change to there, from then to there.
And yeah, we definitely need to do our own research because when you do your own research, you get a better understanding of what's going on internally with your body and the effects that different things that you consume, what the effects of what it would have on your body. And I think a lot of people, I think we don't never question the different things that comes along with eating meat and different processed food is because we grew up on it. And our parents taught us, or our grandparents, or both, they just taught us, this is the way you eat. You eat everything on your plate. Even if you're full, they still tell you, make sure you eat everything on your plate. And that's not always a healthy thing to do. And nowadays, especially we in 2024, we know we have so much information. We can just go on a computer or phone or anything and just look up certain stuff. And not only that, we can just sometimes just go by how we feel, like he just said. How you feel after you eat. Do you feel tired? Do you feel sluggish? Or do you feel like, you know what, I can go work out, I can go run, I can go. Most of the time, depending on what you eat, you probably want to lay down, lay back. You want to just like, and just relax because you're so full, so stuffed. But it ain't even just about being full. It's about the long-term effects or sometimes short-term effects of eating certain food. Because now we've been told, it ain't just I think or maybe. No, we've been told that eating meat causes cancer, causes high blood pressure, causes a lot of people don't know it causes diabetes. They think it's just all related to sugar, but eating meat causes diabetes. It causes. So when you think about all these different things that it does to you internally, and we ain't even got to how it affects you mentally, your way of thinking. And that's another thing I want to touch on real quick, because I know personally, I can't speak for everybody, but I know personally for me, when I stopped eating meat, my level of reasoning kind of toned down. I was just kind of quick tempered. I found myself just very aggressive. And once I did put the meat down, put the processed foods down, I can see a more calmness in my behavior, in the way I talk. I can listen to people more instead of just ready to take off. And I didn't know during the process that would even occur. I didn't know that those things would change me or make me more aware and more conscious of what I'm saying, how I react to certain situations, being overly emotional. I contributed a lot of that to what I was consuming. So with that being said, it's not just a physical thing. It's just as much physical and mental. All those things, they like work together as one. So the mental piece that it brought to me, I can't even explain to you. It just helped me out so much. And I'm just glad that I made that decision without me having to go through so many different health problems or me even doing something that I would regret emotionally just because I was acting out like in a rage from just like they say, you eat an animal, you behave like one.
Yeah, and then we're not just talking. We actually looked up studies, and some studies show that meat consumption, especially red meat or processed foods or processed meats, would have an increase in causing chronic disease like heart disease, cancer, and diabetes. And I know y'all might not care as much about that part, but I know y'all gotta be tired of hearing about y'all family members dying from all these
Man,
medical diseases or medical situations, and it can be prevented. And when they get, or either even if they might not die, but then a bunch of people on medication that's got them. They got this medication and then it helps with this, but it also causes this. So you got medication for that medication. I'm tired of seeing our people, even my family members, that's stuck on medication or stuck just living a life that, or they just in situations where that could be prevented if they were switched with a different diet or switched with just a different added in different things. And I'm not saying everybody got to be vegan. I'm not saying that at all, because you can still be healthy and not be vegan, obviously. But what I'm saying is, if you want to live like,
improve your quality of life.
yeah, improve your quality of life. You don't have to be vegan, but you got to think about the choices you make. That's the main thing I want to focus on. And like, people think that, okay, once you say you want to be vegan, you just gotta stop everything and stop eating everything you used to eat. I don't think that it should be that way. I don't think you should try to approach it in that way. But also, back on the studies thing, if you haven't watched a documentary, it was on Netflix. It's called What the Health. Go check that out, because it even touches points on how they was treating it, how they treat the animals that you eat, and what they feed them and what they put in the animals, like the hormones, the antibiotics, just the steroids. Probably, have you seen some of these pigs? They got big muscle backs like gorillas now or something. Like, I don't like. It's crazy what they doing, and just even how they treat it. And when you eat that meat from the animal that's been treated and been in conditions where they probably eat their own poop, pee, and all that other stuff. And when
Definitely.
you put that in your body, it's definitely gonna have a damaging effect to it. So it's just like adding all that stuff in, just think about all that and you take your own decision from there. If you choose to live a certain life, then don't be, complaining about what you get in return for picking that choice.
Yeah, and not only that, I mean, it's like what you said, like to watch so many of our people, family members, get sick and run to the doctor, run to the hospital, and then the doctor just prescribe you some medication, but the illness that you come to the doctor for, it never goes away. It's like you become a patient for life. It's like, well, I'm on high blood pressure pills. I got 3 different high blood pressure pills. I take this one in the morning. I take this one in the afternoon. I take this one that. That's crazy to me. It's like, where is the cure at? Because I'm tired of taking these pills because the side effects of these pills is causing me more health issues. It's causing me more mental issues. And I think, I contribute a lot of the wrecks that you see on the highway, especially in a big city. People on all type of medication. So you never know if this is causing drowsiness. People, getting, behind the wheel for so long and they veering off. They kind of like just, they're not in tune with reality sometimes because the medication has so many different side effects, and you just never know what all these side effects is. They'll give you a list of things, but it could be even more than the list that they're giving you when it comes to the side effects of taking all these different medications. Because you got this medication and that medication, but these medications, once you put these together, you never know what these medication will cause you to do, will cause you to, in the way it causes you to think, the way it causes you to behave. Because I know some people, they sad 1 minute, they happy 1 minute, they miserable 1 minute, and it's because they got one medication to upper, one medication to downer, and it's just like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? Like, how many people in your family or friends that you had to see go through a life of suffering on medication because of what they eating? And it's like, after seeing it over and over again, at some point you should want to make a change, or you should at least want to do, like I said, your own homework, your own investigation. Don't, I think a lot of people kind of dodge it because they love the food. And it's like an addiction. It's hard to let go of certain foods because we are addicted to them. I mean, I was at one point. We are addicted to it. So it takes a level of discipline, consistency to actually, say, what, I want to make a change. I want to do something different. I don't want to continue to live like this in pain and misery. And for the fellas, I ain't gonna lie. Now, this is a big one. I know a lot of fellas that's younger than me. They taking Cialis, they taking Viagra, they taking whatever they can get their hands on in order to perform in the bedroom. You shouldn't have to do that.
Yeah.
That should be a natural thing, but when the blood is not getting circulation throughout the body, then it causes other parts of the body not to work. And so taking Cialis that's a short-term solution, but it turns into a long-term problem because you just can't take medication every time you think you want to get to the bedroom and do what you do. You have to understand your body, how it functions, what it's supposed to do, and then you can, and it's a part of loving yourself as well. I think a lot of that just goes out the window. People don't understand. They'll say they love themselves, and they'll say, well, I love myself, I do this, I do that. But you can't love yourself and kill yourself at the same time. Because the way we eat is suicide, self-murder over a period of time. We just killing ourselves. It's a slow death. And for some, it ain't as slow. So I just like I say, and not trying to pick on nobody, but the data is there. The information is there. We can't even hide from it no more. We grew up drinking milk because they told us what they tell us. Milk does the body good. We found out that was a damn lie. If you go back even farther, it was a time when doctors had us thinking that smoking cigarettes was okay. They had commercials. Where they were talking about how smoking cigarettes was okay, even for pregnant women. But now if you go buy a pack of cigarettes, they got a little thing on the back telling you it causes cancer. And you know what? People are still going there and buy them cigarettes. They got commercials with the woman. I'm gonna act like this is a cigarette. I've been drinking a cigarette. You got a hole in her throat. And you still gonna go buy you a pack of cigarettes and smoke it? Like, man, we really, really, really need to check ourselves. We really look in the mirror and ask yourself, do you like what you see? Because we killing ourselves. We putting so much poison in our body. You got people that can barely walk upstairs, walk downstairs, and it's like, they're not even old. They still young, and they can barely move. People overweight. We dealing with a lot of pain, a lot of suffering, and a lot of it is just due to what we put in our bodies.
Yeah, I know. To go back to the medicine thing you was talking about, I don't know if some of y'all youngins can relate, but I had a friend when he was in school. He was saying how he used to be, active, hyper, had a lot of energy, and they took him to a doctor for that, and they gave him this medication. I forgot what he said it was, but
What
when
they
I
took him to the
explained to
doctor
him,
for what? I'm
for
sorry.
him having high energy or being
Oh,
all active, and
they said he had too much energy.
or like maybe ADHD.
Really?
I think it was just the high energy. He was
Yeah.
like hyperactive, something like that. And after I explained it to y'all probably know what it is. But he went to the doctor, got the whatever medication it was, and he said once he took the medication, it made him feel like a zombie. Like he was just doing like he was saying how he would just sit there and just like whatever he was trying to do, he would just sit there and like have no like emotion. He said it was like concealing his emotion. That's basically basically the way he explained it to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, not like the stuck like a drug like type of like the stuck like a not like he finna fall over type of thing.
I mean, like he just was like in a,
robot.
like you said, in a zombie state. That's kind of like being stuck. Like he slowed everything down. Yes. You know what it was? It Ritalin?
I think maybe it was.
Because they tried to give us that stuff when I was in school because they said we was too hyper. It
might have been that, but also I know we've been talking a lot about what the bad effects of a lot of things and how this affects you, that affects you. But I want to give some pointers on how you can improve your life and you can do something better for not just you but everybody around you. If you never heard of this book called Atomic Habits, you should go read it right now because this is gonna help you improve every aspect in your life that you want to improve. Mm-hmm. And here's just a little tip that I got from it. Instead of worrying about what you say you can't do, like switching up your diet immediately just like that, you can focus on, and this is one of the tips I got from the book, you can focus on, instead of changing everything, switch one thing you eat, like a processed snack chip or something, switch it with like a Whole Foods or a fruit or something like that. And then instead of when you go in the store to grab a bag of chips, you can go in the store and grab the thing you substituted with. And another tip that it was in the book was habit stacking. So if you know every day you wake up and you make a cup of coffee or you do whatever you do on a consistent basis, say after I do that, I'm gonna make a smoothie. After I do that, I'm gonna do a couple push-ups. Habit stack so that you can just connect the good habit with whatever habit you're already locked into doing every day. So then it's not hard for you to try to incorporate it when you connecting it with a habit that you're already doing every day. So that's just a little couple of tips that you can get right from the book without having to read it yet. But if you haven't, it's a lot more. It's very good. You should go check it out. But yeah.
I agree with all that. And I've seen somebody that I love pass from cancer. They was in one of the best cancer institutions supposedly in the world, and it didn't stop them from losing their life. And it all was because of what they were eating. But back then, at that time, it's been so long ago, I didn't know some of the things that I know now, and I just felt like if I did, that maybe I could help them. But we have another problem that we deal with when it comes to people trying to change or even having that conversation, because a lot of our people are so stubborn. They really don't want to hear. A lot of people just rather just transition. They just rather die than just change what they're eating, and that's a serious problem within itself. That you wouldn't fight for your life. Like I don't know. Like for me personally, I'm gonna fight for my life. I got children. Like this, is my son. If I'm sitting there and I'm unhealthy, and my son say, "Hey, Dad, look, if you can do this and do that, it's a great chance that we can reverse all the issues that you're going through. If you just give yourself a chance and just try this." And as a father, you mean to tell me that I wouldn't be willing to listen to my son and he's trying to save my life? Like, we have a serious problem and we can't continue to ignore it. I mean, we can, but we shouldn't, because it's kind of selfish. Like if you telling me, Dad, look, this can save your life, and I'm not even willing to even give it a chance, but I can go listen to these doctors. When I know that medical malpractice is the third leading cause of death, so they killing more people than they saving, and it ain't even a close. I mean, it ain't even close. They killing so many people yearly. I'm gonna continue to listen to you because let's say you ain't my son, but you buy a product from me, and you continuously buy this product from me, and you die from it. Your family is gonna try to sue me. Like if I'm selling you something and it causes you to continue to get ill and eventually pass, then your family are gonna try to come after me and sue me, send me to jail. They're gonna try to do whatever they can to make me responsible for your death. But when these doctors and these hospitals and these different urgent cares subscribe you different medication and they don't cure you, who's responsible? Like we really gotta wake up and see that nothing. It's getting worse. If you go back 10 years, 20 years, it's like everything is increasing as far as high blood pressure, diabetes 1, diabetes 2. Next thing you know, it's gonna be a 4, 5, 6, 7. It's gonna be like, what the hell? So we got all these different things increasing. They're not getting better. So if they're not getting better, you gotta think the next 10 years from now, I can't even imagine what it's gonna look like as far as all the different health issues that we have going on now. In the next 10 years, it's going to be worse. You got people who will kind of like, they laugh at me and say, oh, you eating lettuce. And yeah, but guess what? I ain't popping no pills. I ain't sitting around here overweight. I'm not sitting over here obese. I don't have high blood pressure. I'm not dealing with no health issues. So yeah, I eat that lettuce. I eat that apple. I eat that fruit. If it's going, because my goal right now, I want to be a centenarian, and those people live 100 years and over 100. But the quality of life is still good. They're not having someone take care of them and clean them up and bathe them and all those different things. They enjoying their life just because of the choices that they made years ago. They didn't wait till they get to this point or that point. They said, you know what? This is how I see myself. This is where I want to be. And in order for me to reach those goals, I have to start that right now. So really just think about it, especially like I said, if you got somebody right now in your family, and I'm sure we all have somebody in our family right now going through something physically. I mean, well, not even physically, but I'm saying like on medication. We all know somebody in our family right now who just left CVS or Walgreens to pick up that prescription.
Yeah, I said medically. Yeah.
Oh, medically. Yeah, definitely. So we all have people in our family going through something. But a lot of people just don't want to listen. I mean, I've been in that boat. I've been in them shoes and I understand it, but a lot of family don't care. They're going to keep on eating that chicken. And I know it's football. You put that chicken wing down. You ain't got to eat chicken to watch the game. I know, I just, we laughing and we joking, but at the same time, I'm very serious about this conversation. And it's a conversation that I wish that parents would have with their children, or even children have with their parents. We have to learn how to love ourselves, and it starts internally. It starts with some of the things that we put in our bodies, because those things affect us in a negative or a positive way. So the choice is yours. You can either live your life in pain, or you can live your life as the highest quality as you want it to be. Because the choice is always yours. It always comes down to what you want to do. And we're gonna end this. We're gonna get up out of here. But I just want to say to all my people out there, man, please do your own homework. Please take the time out. And if, like you say, you don't have to be plant-based. You don't have to be vegan. But just give yourself a chance. Just give yourself a chance, because I guarantee you that prescription that you get from your doctor, it ain't gonna heal you. at the end of the day, it's gonna kill you. Cause your doc is your ops. You wanna say something before we go?
My closing statement is I'm tired of being lied to, and I'm tired. Once you start choosing the life of improving yourself daily and growing, you start to realize that a lot of stuff, a lot of bad stuff is promoted, and a lot of good stuff is not. And you start to wonder why, and you start to wonder why a lot of stuff is illegal in America, but not, I mean it's legal in America but banned in other places. You start asking a lot of questions. So all I'm gonna say is, once you start making that change, just you start seeing the truth. And I want everybody who is trying to improve to see what's really going on, because I'm tired of not only me but my people being lied to and us fighting with each other. Because we need to come together. Because it's the main person that's giving us all this horrible information and leading us down a path of death,
A path
leading
of
to
destruction.
destruction and division. So I'm tired of being divided. I'm ready to come together.
Yeah.
So what we gonna do?
What we gonna do? The family divided. But with that being said, we just want to say, like we said, we're not trying to force nobody to go one way or the other. Just get your information together, do your own research, and do your own studying. If you feel like you want to live a quality of life to where you ain't suffering, you ain't in pain, like we all gotta go, but we don't have to go suffering. We don't have to go out that way. We can go out with a smile. We can go out with love and people around us who really care about us. I don't want to be in a nursing home with people beating on me and not taking care of me. So with that being said, peace, love, and to the next episode, like and subscribe.
Out.